Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow shareholders, this is Gary Merlinger. I want to thank you with the TSAC committee for sharing this evening with us. We all hope all of you are doing well as we continue to go through this very trying and difficult period for the country and the whole of humanity. We had a technological separation there. I'm sorry about that. Our spirit remains steadfast, upbeat, and moves forward under these conditions. You have recently received important information from us, which you should have read, and we'll ask that you read again so that you have a true understanding of where we're at. We will address key topics including status of the financial restitution, legal actions against James Massa, Abe Pafford, the board of directors, and the other participants in the conspiracy against the shareholders. We will discuss the highlights of the new technology viewer as our economy is reopening, and that has significant impact on the viewer itself as well. And we'll get into that. Okay? To bring you up to date, our legal counsel has drawn up the necessary filings, motions, documentation, and is processing these filings in Kentucky and bringing what was known as the derivative suit against the board of directors and the previous management in New York City. Just so you're aware and to be clear, the court systems nationwide were affected by the outbreak as they faced shutdowns and challenges on how to proceed with existing cases and new ones, which they put into place telephonically and in other matters so that we could do the proceedings and go forward. And we are now going forward with the hearings and going forward with the cases. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. You know, the courts juggled time slots during the last 2 months during the shutdown period to accept filings and motions. Did not make it any easier on us or anyone. So we had to work within the system, and they had to reimagine and put new facilities into place in order to handle these matters, as you can only imagine, right? So while this has been the reality we have all faced in prosecuting the crimes and misdeeds by James Massa, Abe Pafford, Eddie Huey, the board, and the rest of them, we again have been processing the necessary documents, preparing them, and filing them as needed. As a matter of reminding everyone of the course of action that we have been taking and are taking, I will say this again, because I know I've heard this as a result of the pandemic. You know, people thought, well, maybe the other side thinks they're going to slip out, you know, the back and they're going to get away with what they did. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing can stop the restitution process. Nothing can stop the justice that we are securing, and they cannot escape from the evil shenanigans and crimes they committed against us. Things may have been delayed as a natural result of the trials and tribulations of the pandemic, but again, make no mistake about it, we are now as they say, going into the throat and the kill. People have been asking me, with all the evidence and everything that we have against them, isn't that enough? And I understand that part of that frustration, because we do have everything in hand. We have all the evidence. We have all the tapes and the records. We have the emails. And we have the actual proof of the embezzled funds, the preferential transfers to themselves. They paid themselves during a fraudulent bankruptcy. They paid themselves and their friends and their co-conspirators. And as you will recall, we also secured the absolute damning information on how these conspirators pulled the same nonsense on other valuable companies in the past with pretty much, and shockingly so, in exactly the same manner, shape, and form they did to us. So all of this is being presented to the court, has been presented to the court, and we are demanding the illegal funds they embezzled and the preferential payments, the documents, all of the assets that we won in the federal auction in December. We won the auction, and while Massa and his gang have played footsie and tried to defy the federal court by ignoring the trustee, that doesn't work with the federal court. Their court is being called on to enforce federal auction and secure what we rightfully won in court. Now the court is doing their part. The court will take the necessary actions as Massa has tried to pull the wool even over the trustees' eyes as well as the federal judge. I want you to know that the proof of the embezzled funds, along with all the other malfeasance that we procured, has been filed with the fact with the court and has been absolutely damnation with this type of outright chicanery. They cannot escape what they've done. Their time is up. The GSAC committee, these are your shareholders and your fellow partners. They have done an incredible job, an incredible work for the shareholders. They are a phenomenal group of human beings, of individuals who join together to defend the shareholders against James Massa and the other co-conspirators from what they tried to do. They stopped Massa from their evil path and pursued justice in every way. And while this has been an immense team effort, the committee deserves an applause, a thank you, and the shareholders truly owe a debt of gratitude to them. And to those who have already acknowledged that, it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Now, I want to move on to the moving forward business of Viewer. We wrote back in the fall that we were going to recreate a better version of the technology. We have. The better version of that technology was Viewer, and it should have been Viewer, the present Viewer, VUWR. And when I say that, we had all of the the majority of the ingredients already baked in, already built in over the years, but we now know why they didn't move forward. A. Pafford and Eddie and the others had their own agendas. You now have received information over the last week, the executive summary, the convergence of technology and other documents, videos, testimonials, as well as a deep dive analysis on how Viewer is positioned to capture significant market share going forward. I'm not going to repeat what has been written in detail and conveyed. However, it is necessary to point out a few highlights that need to be zeroed in on. People have asked, what is Viewer, how, how, why, those very important questions. So the information that's been sent to you answers the what. Viewer is a revolutionary communication innovation with remarkable, intuitive solutions that solve problems which plague Zoom, aside from security problems, which we're all very well aware of. The reason Zoom has those issues is because Zoom was never created to handle 100, 200, 300 million people, and the pandemic caused that. I'm sure you're all aware of that now. Okay? There's something called Zoom fatigue. It was alluded to in the recent information. We'll touch upon this very briefly. And it's important because Viewer completely eradicates Zoom fatigue. Zoom fatigue is actually known by a syndrome which is known as very long meetings where everyone must stare and concentrate on listening for very long stretches of time. Much has been written about it, chronicled in business journals, online, and as you are aware, we conveyed these articles and information to you in the recent emails. So Viewer's intuitive architectural design and value proposition set out to address not only what Zoom's problems were, we had our own value proposition, but we recognized that Zoom's problems needed to be addressed. We built Viewer with total integration of verified shared information modules while simultaneously communicating directly with others visually with total security in mind. And it is being deployed with the genius technology that was built into our previous technology that you all remember as the previous, which was known as Viewer, spelled V-I-E-W-E-R, or where we could view 10, 15, 20 simultaneous screens at the same time. If you recall that, you should. It's an award-winning technology. The ability to simultaneously watch and view multiple streams, again, simultaneously, as well as easily swiping, whether it's documents, data, videos, live streams, very easily and accessibly. We already did that years ago with Viewer, V-I-E-W-E-R, and it was launched in the marketplace with those amazing features, functionalities, and capabilities that many of you recall, which you also just received again in the email for your recollection. There were a couple of videos in the Convergence of Technology email that was sent out over the last few days as well as the executive summary. As a matter of fact, in those videos, it shows that we had live chat and live chats, multiple live chats in the launch of the previous viewer, which you remember that, again, you could do 6, 7, 8, 10, 15 simultaneous viewings. And in the second video, you will refer to the video that was sent to you in this recent email, Convergence of Technology. At 6 minutes and 30 seconds of the second video, the live chat feature, is displayed on the video. The key takeaway from this is we were there before Zoom. We had created the ability to do Zoom before there was a Zoom. With multitasking, and we are all well aware of this, and users can easily swipe preloaded packages of information into the open spaces or windows. That's what we had already accomplished, and it was launched in the marketplace. Given what Zoom or Google or Facebook does, none of them have this. None of them have this ability. We do, and we're building it into the viewer. We developed it, and it was out there, and we know now that our friends, Abe, Eddie, and Master, and the rest, went to work on their journey to try to steal it from us. And it's a very good thing we stopped them. Okay? Zoom doesn't have a buy it now button. Viewer is being built with a buy it now button for merchandisers and to complete transactions for businesses, entrepreneurs, and influencers. I don't want to steal, of course. However, people, now do realize why things went the way they did with such outstanding innovations in the marketplace. Well, again, we all know now that that group, led by Abe, Eddie, Massa, and people from the previous board, were behind trying to seal it for themselves, along with GLB, which was the company that they conspired to put all this into, right? We all know that. Getting back to business, the ability easily and intuitively being able to swipe documents and videos, agreements, articles, websites, anything, DocuSign, multiples of them simultaneously is the future. And as you have seen, not only in the videos and not only in the marketplace already, as well as in the designs in the recent emails that we sent out to you, which everyone has been telling us how great they think about the design of Viewer, how much they're looking forward to be using Viewer. We get that, and we're very excited about it. And we've worked with shareholders, partners, we've worked with our product managers, we've worked with our product development team and the engineers. To be able to do all that is not only revolutionary, it solves the Zoom fatigue problem, and it is very difficult to navigate Zoom when you need or you want to share documents or videos, graphs, easily or intuitively. The best analogy I can come up with is, a car is the vehicle, and so is a MiG fighter. A jet fighter is a vehicle. It transports people. Yeah, it's meant to do other things, but basically it's a vehicle. Most people can drive a car. Very few people can get in a jet fighter and take off. that is pretty much the analogy what you need to be able to do and know to run Zoom meetings. It's a lot more difficult, and you need a lot more understanding and information. It's not intuitive. And that is a key takeaway in building products for the masses. It's got to be easy access, easy to use, secure, and easily accessible, and that's what we have built Viewer to be. When you want to share a document, a video, or a graph, you can easily do that on Viewer. Due to the nature of the design architecture that we put into Viewer and the purpose of Viewer, people are able to view each other, and this is really key and the bottom line. People are not only able to view each other, they're able to share documents or anything for that matter much more easily, making it a much more effective and efficient and productive session. And it saves significant time. It is just a much more convenient and much more productive way for having a much more pleasant user experience. And at the end of the day, user experience is what it's all about. And what is making that sort of user experience worse in today's world? Well, those answers are very easy because it's in the marketplace. The metrics today is Zoom is valued at $48 billion. And that's in 2 years. Yes, they have 300 million users. Most of it in the last 2 years. And of course, the pandemic has plagued and caused a significant factor in this incredible growth for Zoom. However, the pandemic has caused massive changes in the way we do everything and will continue to have significant impact on the way we communicate and the way humanity does so, both from a business point of view and personal. How people will continue to change and evolve is pretty much already known. As we move back into the reopening of the economy, where people are commuting and people are using their phones a lot more and they're not using their laptops at home because they're not at home as much, we envision a world where Viewer capitalizes on making the best of both worlds. The reopened economy is perfect for mobile Viewer, and mobile Viewer has been created for this perfect environment, and it is the result of the knowledge and the technologies that we've already created previously, culminating in one very elegant technological advancement and innovation. And by the way, if anyone's tried to use Zoom on the mobile application, it is a nightmare. It's non-existent. We are focused on a mobile Viewer environment as well as the laptop, and we have significant advantages over any competitor going forward from the fresh start that we have. And just think of everything that we've had to go through for the realization to have Viewer come to this point of fruition. Yes, we are building the prototype. Yes, we've built the nuts and bolts of this before, and we're deploying it again into the new Viewer, VUWR. And then we will enter the beta, and then we will enter the launch and the monetization moving forward. In fact, no one out there is even thinking, not Zoom, Google, no one. They're not thinking or not contemplating of the unique and extremely required capabilities that we are putting into Viewer, and that is they're just thinking of people only looking at each other on a digital device because we are in a pandemic and we're moving into the reopening of the economy. So just staring at 30 people is not the future of digital communication. They are only focused on people staring at each other, requiring extenuated concentrations on listening, which is exactly the cause of Zoom fatigue, listening fatigue, and part of their problem where, in fact, they're losing many subscribers. But still, they're valued at $48 billion in this world today in only 2 years. Now you know why Abe and NASA and them tried to steal our technology. That's the exact reason. And that's the reason we stopped them. One of the points that you should take away is that we never were interested in creating anything that was a Me Too model, like building another, Zoom, where you just stare at 10, 20, 30 faces. We were not interested in that. We always wanted to manifest a revolutionary product with revolutionary innovations, and that's what we've done. So we've created advanced, innovative technology in the past, and of note, we've created award-winning technology, and you're aware of that. So what is this worth? If Zoom is worth $48 billion in only 2 years, we all know what the reasons are. And we're bringing Viewer with all of its technological innovations and advantages, and provides immense advantages. What is that worth? And by the way, we have sent you the backgrounds of our engineers, the bios, as well as the track record of the successes, the incredible successes that the engineers that we are working with. They work with Comcast and some other very big companies. This is all to go towards the future of this company, the shareholders, and the marketplace. Viewer provides a much more fun, effective experience, and if that's the case, what's it going to be worth? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to be worth $48 billion. I cannot do that. No one can. But the metrics in the marketplace do say what Zoom is worth in this situation. The marketplace is already telling us. And also do not lose sight of the fact that the monetization of Viewer is multifaceted, where sharing of revenue and sharing a percentage of sales with our partners, influencers, creators, designers, businesses, business partners is a key revenue metric going forward and part of the monetization, and has been built into the model, been built into the design going forward. If you look at the graphic designs of the Buy It Now button in the emails that we sent you, people can be buying merchandise right from the Viewer screen all day long, 24/7 around the globe. Zoom does not have those components. Zoom was not built for consummating business transactions. Viewer was and Viewer is. It is our belief, since Google made a failed attempt to acquire Zoom early on, that an acquisition is definitely part of our exit strategy going forward. As for the share counts that you all have, we received from you last year your share counts in the vote that the shareholders took to vote against NASA when the shareholders voted against the fraudulent bankruptcy. I don't know if you remember that, but we took that vote. And yet the vote did pass by the shareholders to not go down the path of the fraudulent bankruptcy. Mr. Massa and his group illegally moved ahead with it anyway. Just wanted to make that point known. And also, referring to that point, the cap table will be worked on over the next few weeks with the basis of having those share counts, and we will be reaching out to you individually to make sure that we are all on the same page. Okay? The engineering team is working in concert with the development team. A gentleman by the name of Sean Boyce has been working with our partners and working with potential partners, holding discovery sessions, working on the prototypes for each individual industry. He's been working with various people, going through their wants and desires, building those into customized design for viewer, for industry. As a matter of fact, if you recall, Mark Chernett, who is a shareholder for many years, he's also a financial advisory expert in that field. Been very successful for about 38 years. He described for us on our last call how while he uses Zoom, he and the entire insurance industry would rather have Viewer for the reasons that we've already discussed and have been laid out for everyone. And they would want it right now. The prototype is being worked on with those customized nuances being built into it, and the development team has been scheduling discovery sessions with its partners, and anyone who is interested in scheduling a discovery session to become part of Viewer or a user going forward, whether it's in the launch program or the beta or the prototype, then you need to email us at the email addresses at the end of the email send outs or updates that we've sent to you. Or you can call Reeve at 516-509-1848, and I'll get to Tricia Gilchrist, and you should have the email addresses, which are at the bottom or at the bottom of the emails. You will also be receiving emails from the new company, which is Viewer Entertainment Media. And if you have received information from Viewer Entertainment Media, you will be receiving new information from the new email, which is VU-WR. Anytime you receive an email with VU-WR, you'll know it's from Viewer Entertainment Media. If any of you want to receive information regarding the development team and the discovery sessions, please send us an email and we can make sure that you can participate in that as well. We have many shareholders that are participating in that. Just wanted to make sure that was out there. If you missed any of the previous emails, whether it was the executive summary, convergence of technology, or any others, please advise us, call in. They will be forwarded to you on your request. As it turns out, and we're getting to 8:36, and I wanted to keep this to 45 minutes. I'm trying to do that as best I can. As it turns out, this is the why we did everything. Zoom addressed the fact that we are all at home by order. And now, as it turns out, corporations want employees to actually work from home. And let's face it, until there's either a workable vaccine, which takes whether 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, the world is changing and is going to change. And Zoom, I want to thank them for definitely paving a path for us, because that's what they've done. One of the key issues in human communications is the ability and the capability simultaneously to convey our messages or your message with another human being. That has been the challenge of humanity from day one. Whether it's convey your message on a personal viewpoint or business effectively, efficiently, and convincingly, and I believe convincingly usually is the most important part. In short, that is what Viewer is all about. And as we leave this call tonight, think about this. The answer in Viewer is Viewer allows people to simultaneously see each other, listen to each other, see their words. Captioning will be available. See any proof that is necessary, evidence, documentation, video, simultaneously with ease of use, because proof is necessary to share with each other regarding most situations, and sharing it at that time when you're speaking with each other and seeing each other. Not later, but right then and there. Like show and tell. Right then and there is where it's all about. Sharing that information, doing it together, seeing it together simultaneously at that moment, very easily. That is the key. And the ability to significantly improve the effectiveness of anybody's communication ability, which in turn substantially improves your capability and ability of getting things done and your point across, has a tremendous economic value in this world. It makes for a much more effective business and personal life. It increases the sales of everyone. It increases revenue. It improves people's lives. And if Zoom is worth $48 billion in just 2 years, and they do not have what Viewer has, so then where is Viewer headed? You now know that answer. The market has given you that answer. And that is why the committee pursued the actions it did. Why the committee pursued the restitution and the saving of our technologies. We defeated our enemies time and time again, and it is why the committee and the lawyers have made the commitment they have. They knew how valuable this was and is, and now the proof is right before us. And on that note, folks, there we have it. This has been an incredible journey, but we have been blessed. Matter of fact, it sounds like I'm a little hoarse, speaking to you this evening because I am. And I ask you for your forgiveness for my speaking melody this evening. We've been speaking to many, many people about moving Viewer forward and bringing prosecution and justice to those who wanted to steal and destroy us, and we didn't want them. As for Abe, Massa, G.O.B., Eddie, Morello, and the rest of them, they get to be prosecuted and face millions in restitution. You built Viewer. We together built Viewer. It's the future of communications. We are very excited about our future, and I believe so should you. On a final note this evening, while the cap table is being formatted over the next few weeks, just wanted to add that while those that protected their shares by the contributions that they made to the committee, those funds will be redistributed out of the retribution and the restitution funds, and there are shareholders that are also participating as partners, and they're participating in the revenue of Viewer going forward in the Partners Revenue Sharing Plan. And it is a very limited plan, and those that want to know more about that, just please inquire, and you could learn more about that. If you have any other questions, please email the committee at gemshareholders@gmail.com. You can call Patricia Gilchrist at 941-276-5096. Leave at 516-509-1848. And if anyone would like to speak with our attorneys at Tate & Creed, please advise us, and we can make that happen as well. The new company is Viewer Entertainment Media. It is well on its way. And please inquire about any questions that you have, and we will conclude our call this evening, folks. We thank you. We want you to stay safe, and we'll talk with you soon. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.